So here's what I'm gonna trade this week. So let's begin. I've marked some things to make it short and faster. And one thing I want to point out first is if you have any suggestions or ideas to make these reviews better, I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts on how I can make this better. I really want to improve these reviews because I think it's important. And some of you guys might think it's good. Some of you guys might think it's some things could be improved. So let me know. I want to hear in the comment or the chat, and I'll do an effort to make it better next time, of course. All right, so we begin with AUD USD, where I've entered a trade here on this pair today, and the principle is this is a pullback trade. Now I've had a trade here before last week that I closed 2 weeks ago, that I closed at break even at 5 pip profit actually, and now I have this other trade here that I enter on the same principle. So we have price, a big context here overall. Let me go on a bigger time frame. Big context here is you have a head and shoulder pattern that's not completed yet, so this trade is invalid, but I'm not trading that at all myself. What I care about here on this chart is I see this resistance here at 0.90. What am I saying? 0.78 or 79. And that's a good place to look for bearish trades. Now we had price here pull back to this level a few times. This is the daily chart, by the way, the chart here. So we had price pulling back to this level here a few times before. Can I do this? Yeah, perfect. Beautiful. Price pull back here, one back down, pull back again here, one back down. And it's a bit indecisive, but that's where I like to enter trades. I aim for price to go back to the support here, or around this level at 0.75 or so. And now what happened the first time is price give me a nice setup on the pullback, and that was all good. God, that's yes, pretty annoying. Yeah, price gave me a nice pullback here on the 1 hour chart, and that was a really cool setup. So price went there, hit the top there, nice pin bar or whatever you call it, hammer, it's fine. Went down, did a nice pullback, and I entered here on a pullback, expecting price to go, of course, lower. Price went back up, hit my stop loss. What I do is I move my stop loss to 5 pips when it hits 40 pip profit, which it did over here. Move my stop loss to 5 pip profit. And now price just didn't react well. So my trade was closed. Price went back to the zone, went back down, went back again, went back down. And now we have a situation where price went back there, came back down, did a nice pullback that I wasn't able to take last week. And then price went down further, which was really good. Pull back again, and now I'm entering here on the pullback. I entered on this bearish candlestick right here. Yeah, actually, yeah, this one over here. So that was my trade this time, and I put a 50 pip stop loss in that trade, 150 pip take profit, and that's gonna target the next zone or so. So that's pretty good. That's the trade I'm in right now. As you can see, I trade here with my ONDA account connected to MT4. What am I saying? Again, connected to TradingView. So that's how I take my trades. But no need to look at that. That's fine. Okay, next pair I want to look at here is Euro CAD. And this pair you'll see is screen is dirty. This pair is approaching a resistance area that we've mentioned last week in my weekly review. This resistance is at 1.57 or 1.56 or so. We expect price to go back down. Price has been ranging here for quite a while, since February this year. And so we had many touches there. Price went there, came back, went back to the resistance, came back, up and back, and so on. And price didn't reach it yet, so I'm waiting for price to go more deep in the zone and then look for bear trades in this pair. So we've been going back here many times in the past. Over here the first time in January. So nice resistance area. Okori here is mentioning I would like to have your MT4 engulfing indicator. I don't have any MT4 indicator. Have one on TradingView. If you want to have one, just message me on TradingView, and I'll be happy to give you access to it. It's not engulfing. It's basically a indicator for Bollinger Bands. Basically my setup with Bollinger Band, so it would look like this. You have the Bollinger Band over here. When price makes a break of Bollinger Band and engulfing candle, that's where I have my indicator here to make it simple. Yeah, you can send me a message in TradingView. I'll give you access to it. No problem. Wrong one. Cool, perfect, nice. So EuroCAD is in a different situation. This pair is hitting a support area. Now, depending on what you like to trade, what kind of trader you are, you might trade this or not. This is a trade that is technically against the trend, even though we don't really have a strong trend now in the market. Price reversed from 1.51 or so, this level, and came back down. And now we look for, at this level here, bearish trades for a move, maybe not all the way to the top here, but maybe a move toward the middle and then a break maybe later. So that's my thought process here, and I'll wait for bullish trades on this pair. Okay, Euro USD is also at a nice level, hitting a resistance over there. And oh, by the way, on this pair Euro CAD, it's possible that price might just break the level, right? That's really possible. If it does, and which happens quite a bit, if it does, it will reverse that pattern, and basically instead of looking for a bullish trade, when you see price breaking the level, then you gotta look for these pullbacks here to the zone or toward the zone, and then bearish trades. Okay, so that's just want to make it clear here that you don't look for buys like all the way down here, because that's gonna be pointless. Okay, so Euro USD is hitting a resistance area here. We've been there last week at 1.21, and price has been there for I've not been there for quite a while, so we were here at the low, came back to the zone, so I'm looking for bearish trades. I was pretty much good to enter on this pair today, but I'm waiting for a deeper pullback, and you'll see what I mean over here. So price, and but this strategy is only price action. I have another one with the Bollinger Band. It's a different one. The Bollinger Band one is used by is traded by Enago, so I don't really touch it much. Just look at the zones myself, and that's all good. So okay, so price made this range here in the past week. Went beyond there, came back down, nice pullback, a small one, came back down, and now we have this. So this morning was over here. All right, so we didn't have really a big pullback. We just had this 2 or 3 candlesticks that were bearish, that were bullish in this market. Price went back down. I was waiting for a bigger pullback, and here's my pullback. So this is a nice pullback over here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 bullish candlesticks. That's a nice pullback. And now I would wait for a bearish candlestick to signify a potential move to the downside. Of course, we have some buffers. If I enter a trade here, I'll put a stop loss at 50 pips. Here's 1.25, so we 1.21 or so. That will give us a stop loss around here. Yeah, that might seem big, but compared to the potential return we can have, that's pretty good, because we can expect price to go back around here to 1.188 or so. So that's a good level. Okay, so I want to make all this is clear, but that's what I'm looking for, a pullback here, which we have. Now we need to wait for a bearish candlestick. Maybe if you are more manual in your trading and more discretionary, you can reduce your stop loss here, because 50 pip is quite big. Maybe since we have a range here, you could do maybe inside of the range over here, inside the range over there. That would be safe. But that's up to you, depending on the strategy, of course, in your plan. You should only trade your own plan, not just copy what I do. That's always better. And that's what we have for Euro USD. Now, GBP CAD is in a weird spot. I just want to make this clear here, because last week I said this was at a nice bullish zone, support zone. Now this changed, right? Price broke the zone, which was over here, and now we have to look on this pair for bearish trades. Like I said before, when you have a break of the zone, you look for price to retest the zone or close to it, and then you look for bearish trades over here. So I'm looking for this move around here or close to it, and then some bearish trades there. Either reversals with my Bollinger Band setup, or some kind of pullback where you will have price pulling back here, going back down, and then making a small pullback, then going back down. So that's what I will look for here. Okay, so that's what we look at on GBP CAD over here. And welcome to Romano in New York. What's up? Awesome. JPUSD is at a resistance area over here. Again, this is a trade that I could enter pretty soon. So price is at the 1.40 resistance, a round number. That's pretty good. So as you know, 1.40 is a round number in Forex. Good place where usually institutions look for trades. They look to enter because they don't look at like all these decimals. They look at these big round numbers. 1.40 is a good example. 1.35, this next support is a good example here too. So that's perfect. Now, what we have here is we have price hitting this level, Okay, so like Euro USD, the same principle there is we have price. By the way, these pairs are correlated too. So if I take a risk on Euro USD and GBP USD, I'll split my risk in half because it's pointless to take trades that are correlated. You have to reduce your risk. Okay, so we have price here that was at this level here, 1.40, came back down, did a nice pullback over here. Now we have to wait for a bearish candlestick to enter a trade on this pair. We target the zone at maybe here 1.37. That's too close. Yeah, that's pretty good. Or the other zone that's bigger on this chart here, 1.36 or so. So we have a lot of room for downside on this pair. That's cool. Again, you could trade these reversal setups too when you get to this point. We had a cool trade here on, actually let me show this here because I think I took this trade last week. We had a trade here on this pair on the 1 hour chart. And this is a bearish trade. So you see this line, triangle over here, signifies a setup with the Bollinger Band. I would have taken that trade because we meet all the rules. So what we need to have here is we have a Bollinger Band and a break of the Bollinger Band. So we have this candlestick here breaking the Bollinger Band, the top band. This one here breaking it 2, this one here breaking it 2, and this is actually an engulfing candle. So what you do in this case is you enter the market, and you place a stop loss. You place your entry below the low, stop loss above the high, and you are at risk of 1 to 1, 3 to 1. That case would be stopped out right away. So boom, that's it. But this setup works really well in general. So just not in that case. Okay, so that would be the trade. All right, so one point here is you gotta take this trade when it's in support or resistance area. When it's in the support zone, you buy. When it's in a resistance, you sell. Okay, you don't take this trade anywhere on the chart because that's not gonna work really well. I have videos on that in the past. I've done videos on that a lot in the past. So if you want to see a video on it, I'll leave one link in the corner above here. You can just watch it. And you'll be able to learn the setup, how that works, and everything around it. All right, cool. Next pair is USD CAD. This pair is sitting in support at 1.22. And price is not quite there yet, but I want to mention it here because if price hits support, it's likely to bounce pretty quickly after. Now keep in mind we are in a downtrend here. If you want to buy, you're looking more for like a bounce trade, not a reversal trade. So what I mean by that, like the difference would be, if you've not seen that before, is it bounces something like this. Price goes there, bounces a little bit, then comes back down. Okay, that's a bounce trade. Really profitable anyway. It could work really well if you have a good setup over here. But it's a bounce, right? It's different. If you look for a reversal trade, it's different. You have price going there and reversing to the other previous resistance. So one goes to the other side, one goes to closer and bounces and goes back down. So in that case, because we're trending downward, right, that would be probably a bounce trade on that pair. You gotta take your profit faster, of course. Don't look for like these 4 to 1, 5 to 1 there. That's pointless. You gotta look for these tighter, smaller profits in that case as a bounce trade. Hope that makes sense because that's really important. Okay, so here we have, and by the way, after I'll go with cryptos. So looking forward to it. All right, here we have another trade. We have a nice resistance area coming up on USD Japanese yen. It's at 110. We've covered that last week as well. Price was getting there closer and closer. And our price is almost there. So we look for reversals from this level. Okay, so price will go back down over here. Maybe not that deep, but like this. And in that case, we can target the next area because we are in a sideways market on that pair. So something interesting there because we have to wait for price to hit the zone. Awesome. If you have any question on this stuff, happy to answer your question as well in the chat. Just post them there, and I'll be able to go through them after we finish this weekly review. Now, here is gold. Gold is hitting a resistance area. Actually, it's been there for a while, since April 16th or so, almost close to a month ago soon. And price is just there as a resistance, doing nothing. Expect price to go back down to the support at 17 or 1600, and we still have to wait for this to happen. But that's a really good place to take a trade. We just don't have any trades yet. So let me see on the chart what happens there. So far we had no trade on the forward chart, and we had yeah, we had a couple of trades here. Interesting. So by the way, I'm not trading gold at all. So just to be clear, I don't like this pair or this thing much, but it's all right. So here we have a setup that was a bad setup. I mean, not a bad one, a good one, but a losing one. Hey, we had a setup that I wouldn't take myself. Some of my students take them. They love them. When price breaks the middle band of the Bollinger Band, I don't do it, but some people love it. And here we have, basically, no setup after. Interesting. So yeah, not much setup there. That's fine. Like I said, I don't trade this because the results for me are bad, but some people trade it, and that's up to them. All right, so now we are at the point where we are. Some people are waiting for cryptos, and cryptos is good. I'm preparing a video on that also pretty soon. Once that's published, you'll be able to see it on the channel. So that's one good reason to subscribe if you know about crypto. Whether you should move to cryptos or stick to Forex. Interesting stuff. So let me go through here Bitcoin Cash. Last week, I warned you guys that price was at a support area and was likely to go back up. I bought a bit of cryptos, so I pretty much sold all that I had, or most of what I had before, and before the big crash, because I kind of knew it was coming before. So I bought a little bit last week, and now price is just like up by a lot so far, so that's good. Now here's the zone where you want to take profits at the high at 1,100. Good zone to take profits there for sure, but so far it's going good, so that's perfect. Awesome. Next pair, Bitcoin. Same principle. I said this was a support last week. It turned out that price went back up by quite a bit. This was, let's just say like 50,000, support, and now we are at 58,000. Pretty good, right? That's almost 20% increase in 1 week. That's nice. It's gonna pay for my coffee. That's good. And then we have Ethereum. Ethereum is just like crashing like crazy. So last week it was around here. I said be careful here, take profits, and see it didn't work out, but that's fine. So now we move this back down, and it's going to be our support zone on Ethereum. Has some Ethereum too, so that's good. It's perfect. That I didn't sell yet, so that's cool. Yeah, now we have a support zone here. We don't have really any resistance area that we can look at all, of course, because we are at the all-time high at 3,200 or so. Yeah, a bit lower. Okay, that's no matter what. And then we have here Stellar, which is one that I've been watching for a while. It's really nice for sideways movements. Last week we were here at the support. I said this is support again. Good place to look for buys. I don't have much of this yet. I just have a little bit. And then price went back up. Now here's a place where you want to take profits at 0.60 or so. Is a place to take profits because the fact that we've been there in the past, we bounced there many times in the past, and I wouldn't want you to kind of go in, keep holding it for a long time because it tends to reverse quite a bit. See here, there's a lot of pullbacks, so it's a good point to sell over here and then buy when it's around this level here, at 35 or so, 0.35 or so. But that's cool. If you have any cryptos you want me to look at, I'm happy to do it. We didn't look at Litecoin. Litecoin is here. Yeah, happy to look at other pairs too if you want to have a look. I know someone always asked to look at JPY. We can have a look at it soon. Yeah, this one is the same thing. I said this was the support last week. We are looking to, I still have some of this also, and I want to take profits around here for sure. So that's the same principle. All these are correlated anyway. They all follow the same thing. Cardano. I've never looked at that before. Cardano, I guess Cardano US. Yeah, much more sideways, this one. Interesting. That could be nice for the Bollinger Band reversal strategy. That's cool. So what you do here, let's draw some lines. Support at 1, that's pretty obvious. All right, make it simple. Resistance at, for sure here. 1.47, 46. Yeah, 46. It's pretty good. 1.46. I like to put this at round numbers. It's a lot easier to look at and to remember. Of course, these will be the two things you look at. Then below that, you have like things that are not so relevant. And then so this is good. Now let's put some zones on this to make it more nice looking. There we go. Here's your support, and here's your resistance. Easy. Now I was curious to see kind of how many setups there were on this pair and whether setups work. The big thing with crypto is you don't have much data to trade or much data to backtest and test your things on, so that's a bit annoying. But in general, this is pretty cool. Yeah, this is good to look at anyway. So here, yeah, we had a nice trade here that I would have not taken based on my rules, but that's fine. Here we have another trade that, yeah, would have been taken. Yeah, I think some of the rules I have for Forex would not work with these cryptos for my Benjamin reversal. Now price action only works well, but with this strategy on cryptos, it seems like it's getting out a lot of trades. Yeah, that would have been one loser here, and yeah. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, interesting. That's cool. So that's cool to have a look. But basically, you want to sell at the top and buy the bottom. That would be what I look for. Maybe I'll be careful about the reversal trades here, the sell trades. Of course, we are seeing quite dramatic upside on this, so be careful with your sells. And yeah, that'll be interesting. So let me go through the chat a little bit and answer some questions that you guys have. Here we have David was asking, why is everybody aggressively against hedging instead of stop loss? Like hedging, averaging in, averaging out. It's been growing in my account more, but everyone is against it. Yeah, hedging is interesting. Definitely not something that everyone can do. I think some accounts, maybe in the US, cannot do it. I'm not sure the rules exactly, but there's some things you cannot do there. Yeah, I believe it's in the US. But yeah, it's a good thing. It's more complex. When you have more things to manage. If you like it, that's good. I don't like it at all. For me, it's tough, and I wouldn't do it. A stop loss is clear. You get out, and then you're done. You look for more trades. Yeah. Also, hedging requires more capital because you need to have like both trades, your original trade and then your hedging trades. So you need more margin there. But that's not a big deal if you have a high leverage. In general, it works if you like it. But just be careful that your edge are actually covering your losses. That's the main thing. But good question, David. I appreciate. Fast Pro is asking, is it only worth it trading cryptos if you have a lot of money to put in cryptos? As cryptos move slowly. Well, cryptos move pretty fast now these days, less than before for sure, but pretty fast anyway. So we have this, especially the ones that are ranging. See, it went from 1 to 146 in like 2 weeks. That's fast. That's pretty fast. You won't see any currency pairs doing that, so they move pretty quickly. I would say crypto is not something that you want to trade primarily, and I'll explain why in the video that I'm publishing in probably 2 days or so. A video is about why you should trade cryptos or not, and you can watch this. But yeah, definitely, it's a different game, so you have to be more careful about it. Bitcoin move from, or Bitcoin Cash here 750 to 1,000, so like 30% increase or more, actually 40% increase in 2 weeks or so. That's definitely faster. So what are your thoughts on GPY pairs? I've covered this before. This GPY is hitting a resistance area pretty soon. Looking for bearish trades there. Now someone always asks about the JVP, the pound Japanese yen. Just go through this. I think I've covered this last week. Why isn't it working? Okay, Japanese yen. Let's Wanda, I think I used this one last time. Yeah, perfect. I don't know what. Yeah. So I was talking about the fact that last week you could basically day trade this or swing trade this. And if you swing trade, your resistance are over here. So support at 147.5 and resistance at 154 or so. Now, if you want to, now this pair is in the range, and see how the zones that I draw last week, price just respected them so well. So let's have a look here on the 1 hour chart. It's also not here. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've used this chart last time. So basically what you want to do, because this pair is in a range, like within a small range, moving really tightly. So you have to day trade this if you want to trade it right now. This pound Japanese yen. So we've drawn some resistance and support last week. It held up pretty well on this pair. That's pretty good. So let's just go here on a 1 hour chart. See how he had a really cool setup here at the resistance that we've drawn before last week. And price just went back down. We have a setup over here also. We basically would be buying here, but this was the week before. So yeah, we could sell here, but then price didn't do anything. Price just went back up. So we had a cool trade over here. Now you could even day trade this lower if you want. 15-minute chart. Nice setup. Nice setup. Yeah, that was pretty good. Of course, you want to day trade this. If you swing trade, you have too tight of a range to even do anything on this pair. Because look at this, it's really tight, and price is in the middle of these of this range. So that's my thought on GPY pairs. Alessandro was saying, if you want to test a exit strategy, should you test it with a particular entry strategy, or can you test it with random entries? Yeah, definitely with your particular entry strategy. Because if you test it random, then it might be good, but you don't know what your trade, if it's going to be good or not. So yeah, you want to test it with something you trade already. That's the best. Yeah, definitely. Alright guys, so I'll leave you with this. This is my weekly outlook and review. Hope you like it. Leave me a thoughts below how I can make it better, of course. You'll see some videos here on this side, the whatever side that is, that you can watch. We have a motivation video we published yesterday about some motivation if you want to start your week properly. And another video about my strategy if you want to watch it. So one of my strategy in detail for free, of course, on YouTube. And I'll catch you back here pretty soon. Check out those videos. Ciao.